Well, good midday, good midday, good midday, good midday, good midday to you, one and all. Kathy, bless you. Doing well, feeling fine, just taking it one step at a time. Are you drinking your water and eating healthy? So, we're grateful for the honor and privilege to be able to come and share with you on a Friday. Um, and God has blessed us with another week. And so we're grateful to God for that. Good midday, Erica. Bless your heart. And so we are thankful to God for again another awesome and powerful privilege to be able to come and to share with you on today. Ooh, excuse me. So good midday, good midday. Please share, please share. If you don't mind, that would just be awesome if you would do so. And that way we can share this word with as many people as we possibly can. Good midday, Linda. Cora, good midday to you. Okay, feeling well, doing what need be done. Nancy, good midday to you. Jemison, good midday. Minister Sarah Chaplain Hearns, good midday to you. Hope and pray that you are prepared to walk into a fabulous Friday. Y'all didn't hear what I said. Fabulous Friday. Okay. And so we're grateful to. Hey, Valerie, make sure you tell Dad we got him lifted in prayer. And we are believing God for great things. Minister Faye, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget, fabulous Friday. It's a little cooler, but it's going to get better. We've had some rain, and it's going to get better. We will be outside for our worship experience on Sunday, and it will get better. Okay. And so we are thankful to God for all of you that are here with us on today. That's right. Fabulous Friday. Even if it's not just yet, guess what? I'm calling those things that are not as though they are. Vernice, how you be? How you be? Timothy, thank you so much for being here with us on today. It's a wonderful day. Elder Pam Mansell, thank you so much for being here. And we are grateful again for the opportunity. Please share, please share, please share, please share, please share, please share. Barbara, thank you so much for being here. Bless your heart. Okay. That's right. That, that's right. That's right. That's right. Ayana, bless your heart. Thank you for being here. That's right. Fabulous Friday. All right. I know you're going to be out there. Don't be screaming out there and yelling too hard now. I don't even know why I wasted my time saying that. And so we just want to bless his holy name for the privilege, um, growing, challenged, all of that kind of good stuff that comes along with it. And so, again, thankful to God for you, one and all. Don't forget, the church picnic is immediately after morning worship. It will be on the church grounds. Make sure that you bring ample sides. We're providing hot dogs and hamburgers and all that kind of stuff because of my restrictions and my limitations at this particular time. Elder James, Christine, Carletta, I will not be able to cook the ribs. There will, if you do cook some, they'll be yours. And no, I can't even make the sauce because I'm limited. I can't pick up until I'm cleared doing what the doctor says. Um, I can't pick up over 10 pounds. So, with that being said, y'all just gonna have to hold on and hold out and see what the end gonna be. All right, and we'll go for it. And so we're thankful to God for you. So we're doing that. So just do what you need to do. We'll have a tent out there. We got a little, some kind of little bounce around, something or other for the kids. They are putting together games and all kind of stuff that we'll be able to do. Thank you so much, Janice. Letting it be known that we are up and running appropriately. Lady Bowling, bless your heart. Okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna do the best I can. Christy, good midday to you. Thank you so much for being here with us as we grow in the Lord. I was thinking as I was going over the lesson for today, which is a basic continuation from not just yesterday's, but from the weeks as well. Pam, thank you so much for being here. Gaither, bless your heart. And so the the yeah, that's when they used to be there, but we own so much property, we decided to stay on our property and have a good time. Um, why do we follow the Lord? Why do we obey the Lord? Why do we serve him? What's the motive behind us coming to the Lord? What's the motive? What's the motive? Is it because, hey, Doe, how are you? Is it because of the stuff, the things, the bling, the blang? Is it because of the clout? Hey, Herma, how are you? Is it because of the status? Or could it possibly be, Ella May and Rhonda, bless you for being here, the thing that should motivate us? Hey, Sherry, how are you?
Hey, I can't complain. Thanks for asking.
Oh, now that was interesting. Don't even ask me where that came from because I have absolutely no clue. Amazing. Okay. Denise, bless you for being here. Because when you look at the text, Mark chapter 10, starting at verse 28, Mark chapter 10, Sister Thomas, how are you? Mark chapter 10, starting at verse 28, Peter begins to really get to the heart of the matter of what's actually going on, not only in his mind, but in the mind of the rest of them that are following Jesus. Because he says something. He said, I done left everything I know to follow you. You talk about it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man. For one, you got to catch that because sometimes we say for a rich man to enter into the kingdom. That's not what the text says. The text says for one who trusts in their riches, which means your wealth is more important than your faith. And then he goes through all of these things because, again, this all goes back to this argument that's going on about who's going to be the greatest, especially after what they call the Mount of Transfiguration, where Jesus changed himself and three of the disciples were there and they beheld Elijah and Moses with Jesus and all of that. They come down off the mountain and then the fussing starts. Who's going to be the greatest? Who's going to be all of that? Because obviously Jesus has chose 3 out of the 12 to be more important than the rest of them. But you also have to remember, in the midst of a glorious moment, you can't always take everybody with you. Oh, Father, let me calm down on this because I need to teach this so that you can catch and grasp what's going on. But Peter, and you know Peter's going to express himself. He really doesn't care what anybody thinks. But he says, whatever comes out of his heart comes through his mouth. He says, well, I don't even understand this because you know, out of all that we have been taught at the knees of our mothers, we have been taught that wealth belongs to those who know him. And Jesus crashes that misnomer when he tells that young man, sell everything that you have, give to the poor, and then you'll have riches in the kingdom, and then come follow me. And he walks away bent out of shape. So Peter says, I don't understand this. He said, I don't understand, out of all that we've seen, feeding of the thousands, walking on water, whatever, yada, yada, that we've experienced, even though in the midst of Peter's statement, Peter also forgets his failures, because out of everything that Peter has participated in, he has also failed in. But sometimes, until you get the revelation or the understanding that the only reason that you are able to do what you do and be where you are in life has nothing to do with you, your ambitions, or your tenacity. It has everything to do with the grace of God that permits you to move into something. And I believe, Thea, good midday, I believe I said something that many of us overlook, because you have to remember, in the midst of their fallacies, in the midst of their failures, in the midst of their shortcomings, in the midst, good midday, Jaleesa, in the midst of all of the craziness that's going on, you have to remember that their character and their characteristics were already known to the Lord, and he still chose them. Now, for those of you who are suffering with self-esteem issues and don't nobody love me, hey Nisi, how you doing? Nobody cares about me. I've been abandoned. I've been forsaken. I've been called black. I've been called yellow. I've been called stupid. I've been called nappy. I've been called big nose. I've been called small nose. I've been called ignorant. I've been called the dumbest thing on the planet. I've been called this. I've been called that. I've been called, out of all of the things that people may have injected into you that have created an overwhelming inferiority complex, the one thing that ought to help you to overcome it is the fact that he still chose you. Lord, have mercy. Out of all of the things that people have said, even in your family, even in your loved ones, with your boo baby or anybody else, that has done nothing but try to lower your bar of awareness of who you are in Christ Jesus, you got to remember that he already knew every misstep, every mistake, every dumb, crazy, and off the chain thing that came into your life, and he still chose you. I know I don't have anybody out here that understand this, because in the midst of all of our psychological dysfunctions and misfunctions, and out of all of the things that we go through, that we try to drown out the sounds and the noises of the negative people that have come into our lives, and in the midst of it all, even in those moments when we participated in those things that other people said we were, not realizing that even in the midst of that, we were trying to prove them wrong, but yet still succumb to the foolishness in the mouths of other people. He still chose you. Peter's mouth, Peter's cussing, Peter's cutting, all of the arguments, the boys, sons of thunder, want to know who gonna sit on the right, who gonna sit on the left. What are we gonna do? How we gonna feed these people? We ain't got no food out here. Send them people home. And he still chose you, already knowing that your proclivities toward failure were already in existence from your mother's womb. He still shows you, out of all of the mistakes that they have made, even when the man brought his son and the disciples couldn't do anything with him, and Jesus said, just bring him to me. How long am I going to be bothered with you and your foolishness? And Jesus delivers the young man, and they come to say, well, how is it that we weren't able to do it? Because other demons were listening to us, but this one didn't. And Jesus turns around and says, Pastor Johnson, how are you? These kind only come forth except through fasting and prayer. And in the midst of no fasting, in the midst of no prayer, in the midst of not even seeking him a one iota, he still chose you. I wish I had 5 people that understood what I just said. So while you want to be woe is me and I'm pitiful and don't nobody love me and don't nobody care about me, I ain't never going nowhere in life. I'm too old. I'm too ugly. The devil is a lie from the pit of hell. And you need to quit listening to his foolishness, because in the midst of the madness that these disciples continue to do, you got to remember he was walking through the seashore and he chose them. And you better remember that he didn't choose you when you became perfect. He didn't choose you when you became holy. He didn't choose you when you became righteous. He didn't choose you when you became right in standing with him. He chose you before you even knew you were chosen. He chose you before you were even formed in your mother's womb. He already wrote his name on you. Here we go. And so guess what Jesus says? Okay. All right. ah, so when you do that self-esteem stuff and you look in the mirror and talk about you ugly, you sure is ugly. And guess what? I might be ugly to you, but I'm fearfully and wonderfully made in the sight of God. Y'all not. Yeah, I might be fat, I might be skinny, I might not have no hair, I might have to. It might be nappy as far as I can, but guess what? I'm still fearfully and wonderfully made. Look at what he said. And Jesus in verse 29 says, so Jesus answered and said, assuredly I say to you, there is no one who has left home, house, brothers, sisters, father, wife, mother, or children, or lands for my sake and the gospels, who shall not receive 100-fold now in this time, houses and brothers and sisters and mothers and children and land, with persecution. Now, when I looked at that in the Greek, okay, that's right, the color purple. When I looked at that in the Greek, it doesn't say with persecution, it says in even with or in spite of. He says, y'all ready for this? Now listen. I'm listening. He didn't necessarily say that he's going to swell your bank account. He didn't necessarily say that he's going to put more money in your 401k. He didn't necessarily say that he was going to do this and all of that. And so you'll be rich and can tell everybody how rich you are, rather than recognizing that it's the Lord's doing and it's marvelous in our eyes. What he is saying in that verse is, I'm going to give you so much favor that because of everything that you have forsaken, I'm going to cause you to come into the lives of other people. I'm going to cause you to reap something that's greater than $1 million in the bank. I'm going to cause some things to happen into your life that 100-fold relationships are going to be developed in order for you to be able, y'all better catch this, in order for you to be able to complete and accomplish the ministry that I have put in you. In the age to come, eternal life. And then here's the thing that you better hang your hat on. But many who are first will be last, and the last will be first. That's why I don't have to fight to be up front. I don't have to fight to be seen. I don't have to fight to be recognized. I don't have to fight so people will know I'm anointed. I don't have to fight in order for people to recognize that God's hand is on me. All I have to do is be patient, and God will elevate me when elevation time comes. So for those that are out front right now, guess what? They're going to come when they're going to be behind. The first will be last, and the last will be first. And let me put a pin in that for just a second, because what you do for Christ, is not done so you can tell everybody or see or show everybody that you all of that in Christ. What happens is God, because of the way that you carry yourself and the character of Christ that is being manifested in your life over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, causes people to be drawn to you. And by doing so, you are able to impart into them, and they're able to also impart into you what you need. You got to remember something. And then I'm going to let you go because I done took up as much time as I need to take up. Quit worrying about who's on the stage, who's on top, who's getting the glory. You just make sure that you are found faithful. And you're not doing what you're doing to be seen. You're doing what you're doing so he can be seen in and through you. You don't do what you do to be seen, but you do what you do so he can be seen in and through you. Listen, I want you to have a fantastic weekend. A little chilly out there right now, but it's going to get better. Pray for Maui. Pray for places where hurricanes and all of these things are just devastating, not only the United States, but the entire world. Pray that God will keep us all in perfect peace. Don't forget, after morning worship, don't you come in there bringing you one of these little bowls like this to the picnic. Don't you do that. Okay. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Doing what I need to do, not overexerting myself. I'm doing exactly what the doctors have told me to do. Yes, I will be preaching Sunday morning. But the thing that must be noted, and the song says, only what you do for Christ will last. So if you're doing it in flesh, if you're doing it to be seen, you got your reward. But for those of us that work the work of ministry without any grandiose announcement, without any spectacular being seen or recognized, we just do it because we love him, because he first loved us. Eyes have not seen, nor ears heard, nor has it entered into your heart what great things God has in store for you. Got to go. Be blessed. Love you with the love of Jesus, who is the Christ. May God bless you. May he keep you, is our prayer.